Hi guys, welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. May God bless you all. Fulani is disappointed. Nnamdi Kanu still winning big. The appeal court in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, has upheld the judgment, acquitting and discharging the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Chief Mike Uzeko son, one of the lawyers representing the separatist leader, on Monday said the court upheld his ruling of October 13th, which set Nnamdi Kanu free. So that means Nnamdi Kanu is a free man. The Nigerian government had sought a stay of execution on the ruling of the Court of Appeal acquitting and discharging Kanu. The appeal court earlier set Kanu free and acquitted him of the charges of terrorism and treasonable felony against him. But on Monday, the Nigerian government approached the appeal court asking it to stay the execution of the judgment of October 13th, which voided the extraordinary rendition of Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. A three-man panel of justice held that such extraordinary rendition without hindrance to due process of the law was a gross violation of all international conventions, treaties, protocols, and guidelines that Nigeria is a signatory to, as well as a breach of the applicant's fundamental human rights. The appellate court further held that the government failed to refute the allegation that the IPOB leader was in Kenya and that he was adopted and brought back to the country without any extradition processes. On that ground, the appellate court held that the government was ominously silent on the issue, which it described as a very pivotal in determining whether the trial court would still have the jurisdiction to continue with the criminal proceeding before it. The appellate court judges held that the Nigerian government's action tainted the entire proceedings it initiated against Kanu and amounted to an abuse of criminal prosecution in general. The three-man judge therefore held, thus, the courts will never shy away from calling the executive to order, which it takes towards executive recklessness. It accused the government of engaging in serious abuse of power. But the Nigerian government, in a notice of appeal filed before the appeals court, focused on 7 grounds. Wants the Supreme Court to stay the execution of the appellate court judgment. The government, other things, contends that the appellate court's panel held in law and occasioned a miscarriage of justice when it relied on the manner by which Kanu was renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria after he jumped bail in 2017 to quash the charges against him. It further insisted that the appeal court acted in error by striking out the charge against the IPOB leader on the premise that the trial judge no longer had the jurisdiction to handle the matter. The government, through the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, is therefore asking the Supreme Court to, in the interim, suspend the execution of the Court of Appeal verdict pending the hearing and the determination of its appeal. This case is just giving me one kind of joy. People who feel that they know too much and they know nothing. After the transfer of the initial judgment, judges and put your own judges, the judgment still remain the same. My advice again to federal government, your shame is increasing. Why don't you reduce it by letting this innocent man go in peace? Oh my God, nothing when Musa no go see forget. After the transfer of the initial judgment, you also transfer judges. Okay, let me put it like this. After the transfer of the initial judgment, you still transfer the judges and you put your own judges. The judgment still remain the same. For this, una go come believe say this country not be anybody property. This is our father's land. Why are the Fulanis behaving as if they hold Nigeria? This country belongs to every one of us. You pamper bandits, you pamper Boko Haram. After killing thousands of Nigerians, they will come and tell you they are tired. They would say they dropped their gun on social media. They will go back and continue their way of life. You give them house. You pay them fat salaries. You take good care of their children. You feed them. You ignore those people they have killed their parents. The widows, the widowers, the motherless, the fatherless. God will never leave those people unpunished that brought us to this point today. They have turned Nigerian constitution upside down because they always want it the way it will please them. This country is not your own. Not be you get them. Not be your property. None of us get them. Because you are opportune to be there, that does not mean that you are now the God. I am beginning to fall in love with Nigeria judiciary. Muna keep them up. This is what we want. They no one look face. So shame on Fulani. Why are you afraid of Nnamdi Kanu? What do not even the judge? Nnamdi Kanu is a threat to the national security. If they release him now, this and that, there will be problem in the southeast. Mostly this 2023 general election. If you keep him now, as court don't already discharge him and acquit him, then you think that you are going to have peace in the southeast in 2023. Make una dey learn sense. So the day Nnamdi Kanu was released, Southeast, in fact, one can turn to heaven. They were happy because all these unknown gunmen and everyday sit at home, this and that will stop, and all that. You can't they turn upside down. You won't turn the case overnight. You change the court. You change the judges. You transfer the judge. The case, the judgment still remain the same. Shame. Una shame, they shame me. I'm dropping it and kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Thank you.